Tonight, we travel far back in time, past the kingdoms you know, past the myths you've heard, past even the oldest written stories. We return to the edge of the desert, where the wind whispers through ancient stone, and the sun rises over a world not yet finished. It is the time of the pyramids, of labor, of heat, of silence. Not the silence of peace, but the silence of endurance. So now, settle in, let your breath slow, let your thoughts drift, and listen, not to the pharaohs, not to the kings, but to the ones who built the stones beneath their feet. It begins, as many mornings do, with the soft hiss of sand moving across worn stone. The sound is quiet, like fabric being folded by invisible hands. The sun has not yet cleared the horizon, but its light already stains the sky with a dull orange glow. You lie on your side, back curled slightly, a thin mat beneath your shoulder blades. It does not cushion. It only separates. You shift, and the mat crackles. Your body aches, not sharply, but deeply, as though each joint remembers yesterday. You do not open your eyes yet. You know what you will see. The low roof of your shelter, woven reeds tied with twine, a corner where flies gather, a shadow where your neighbor once slept. He is gone now, taken away last week. Fever, they said, or maybe the cough, or maybe too many days in the sun. No one said for sure. No one asked. Your name is not carved into stone. You own nothing that will outlast you, but you rise, slowly, carefully. The dust clings to your skin. Your legs resist. Your breath is dry. The camp is quiet. The fires have not been lit. The sky turns paler outside. The air is cold for now. It will not stay that way. You wrap a cloth around your head. Your hands are stiff. Your sandals cracked. A boy walks past, carrying a jar of water. He does not speak. You nod. He does not nod back. There is no breakfast. Not yet. Only a handful of something flat and hard, stored in a scrap of cloth. You chew. You swallow. It scratches your throat. A woman pours warm water into a shallow bowl. You rinse your face. The water smells of clay. You do not waste it. The foreman's voice echoes down the slope. It is time. You walk. Others walk with you. No one runs. No one speaks. Only footsteps in the sand, soft and measured. Ahead, the stones rise. The pyramid is not finished, not even close. It grows slowly. It grows with your hands, with your back, with your silence. You find your post. A block waits. The rope is coarse. You grip it with both hands. Your palms sting. You pull. Not alone. Many pull. The chant begins, a simple rhythm. It does not tell a story. It keeps the breath steady. It helps. The block moves, inch by inch. The sand gives way. The sun climbs higher. You pass buckets down a line. Water for smoothing. Sand for traction. A man shouts. A stone shifts. Someone falls. He groans. He stands. The work does not stop. The heat wraps around you now, not like fire, like a blanket you cannot take off. Your skin shines with sweat. Your eyes sting. A whisper of wind brings dust. You turn your face. You keep working. The block is placed, measured, aligned, tapped with a wooden mallet until it rests where it should. The overseer squints. He says nothing. That is good. You step back. Your arms shake. There is a pause, not a break. Just a moment between one block and the next. You lean against the ramp wall. You stretch your fingers. You taste salt on your lips. You do not speak. A shadow passes. Another block arrives. You take your place. You grip the rope and begin again. The chant resumes. Different voices now, but the same rhythm. It rises from the throats of men who have said little else all day. Not a song, not a prayer, just breath, shaped into something repeatable, something that matches the steps. The rope burns against your palm again. The stone is heavier than the last. Or your arms are weaker. You cannot tell which. The sun is higher now. It presses from above, slow and steady. You do not sweat because you are hot. You sweat because your body must. The heat is not a sensation anymore. It is a fact, like gravity, like stone. It does not argue. It only is. A boy walks past with a bucket of water. He dips a ladle and holds it up. You drink. You do not thank him. He does not wait. The water is warm, slightly gritty, but it helps. You wipe your mouth with the back of your hand. The salt stays on your lips. Someone sings, briefly, a fragment of something older than the stones, a lullaby or a memory. It does not last. The work is louder. Around you, the pyramid takes shape. Not quickly, but surely. You see the angles sharpen. The base stretch wider. The steps rise, layer by layer. You do not think of the whole. You think of the next block, and the next, because the whole is too large, too heavy, too distant. At midday, the horn sounds again. This time, it means food, or what passes for food. You walk with the others back toward the shade. Some sit, some do not. You lower yourself slowly, careful with your knees. Your legs throb. Your arms buzz. You unwrap the cloth from your waist. Inside is a piece of flatbread, a few olives, a wedge of something sour. You eat in silence. The bread is dry, the olives soft. The sour thing is bitter, but it fills the space inside you where hunger sits. For now, a man beside you cracks his knuckles. Another stretches his back and grimaces. No one speaks of stopping. No one speaks of tomorrow. The meal is brief. The sun does not pause for your digestion. You rise again. The afternoon work is slower, not lazier, just heavier. Muscles do not recover in hours. The blocks seem larger. The tools, duller. You hammer wooden pegs into sand to brace a pulley. You lift baskets of crushed stone for the gaps between blocks. You shovel sand from the ramp to the base. Every task is needed. None of them are clean. Dust clings to your skin. Sweat makes it stay. Your hands, once smooth, now crack at the folds. Your fingernails are black. Your feet blister under sandals that no longer fit. A splinter lodges in your palm. You ignore it. The stone does not care. You pause once, just long enough to look up. The tip of the pyramid is not yet built, but it feels close, closer than yesterday. A man beside you looks as well. His eyes narrow, then he lowers his head and returns to work. You do the same. By late afternoon, the heat shifts. Not cooler, but thinner. The light softens. Shadows stretch long across the ramp. The wind picks up. Light, but present. It carries the smell of sweat, old wood, worn leather. You breathe it in and exhale slowly. The overseer walks past. He glances at the block you helped place. He squats. He measures. He nods once. Then he moves on. He does not speak to you. That is good. You drop your tools into a wooden crate. You wipe your face with a cloth that was clean once. You stretch your fingers, one at a time. Your knuckles pop. You wince, but not loudly. A bell rings. Distant. Hollow. End of shift. The workers begin to drift back toward the camp. Not quickly, not joyfully, but with purpose. You follow. The ramp falls behind you. The pyramid glows faintly in the setting sun, its edges sharp, its corners clean. It casts a shadow that touches the camp. Your feet drag. The ground is uneven. Your legs are numb. You do not speak. No one does. The camp is quieter in the evening. A few small fires flicker. Someone sharpens a blade. Someone mends a sandal. Someone sings. A different song now. Slower, softer, the kind sung to children. But there are no children here. You wash your hands in a basin. The water is brown when you finish. You lie down on your mat. It feels harder than before. The wind slips through the cracks in the wall. Your eyes close. You do not dream. Only silence. Morning arrives, not with sound, but with light, a soft, pale glow that seeps through the gaps in the wall. Your eyes open slowly. The pain in your back greets you before your thoughts do. You move one leg, then the other. Your fingers curl against the mat, stiff, cold. You sit up, slowly. The cloth wrapped around your head has loosened in sleep. You tighten it again. The camp is quiet. Men move like shadows. A few voices, low, tired. You stand. Your knees protest. Your spine pulls. You do not stretch. There is no time. You walk toward the center of the camp. A boy offers a bowl. Inside, something thick, not warm. You eat. You swallow. It sits heavy in your mouth, but it stays down. That is enough. The air is dry today. The breeze is steady. Your hands feel raw before the work begins. A healer once gave you a paste for blisters. She is gone now. No one says where. You leave the camp with the others. The path to the site is worn smooth. Sand packed by thousands of feet. A man stumbles. He is older. He does not fall. No one speaks. The pyramid grows. Slowly, surely. It watches your approach. Towering. Still. A shape that was not there seasons ago. Now it rises like a silent god. You reach your station. A new block. larger than the ones before. It rests on a sled of wood, angled and prepared. The ropes are thick. You grip yours. Others do the same. The chant begins. Slow, familiar. Your shoulders roll forward. Your feet dig in. The block does not move at first. Then slowly, it shifts. You pull. Together. The wood groans. Sand scatters beneath your heels. The chant deepens. The sun climbs. The rope carves a line across your skin. Still, you pull. The block reaches the base of the ramp. You rest briefly, not by choice, because you must. Your arms fall to your sides. Your breath is shallow. Your mouth dry. A boy offers water. You sip. Then another. The cup moves on. The ramp is steep. Steeper than before. You position the sled. You brace the ropes. A foreman shouts. His voice cuts through the air. You lean forward. You pull again. The climb is harder than expected. The wind fights against you. Sand blows into your eyes. You do not blink. The stone rises, inch by inch. Your feet slip once. You catch yourself. Your arms tremble. Finally, the block is in place. Men with levers adjust its position. A mallet taps its edge. A level is checked with a string and weight. The foreman nods. The chant stops. You step away. Your heart pounds. Your shirt clings to your skin. You taste blood in your mouth. You bite your tongue. You do not spit. The sun is high. The heat closes in. You descend the ramp. Each step cautious. Slow. The ground looks farther than it is. You blink. The light dances at the edges of your sight. At the bottom, a worker collapses. He does not rise. A man kneels beside him. A whisper. A gesture. 2 others carry him away. You do not ask. You have seen this before. The horn sounds. Midday, you sit in the shadow of a wall. Your food is a smear of bean paste and a crust of something flat. You chew slowly. Your jaw aches. You lean against the stone. It is warm. It hums faintly with heat. You close your eyes. Just for a moment, the world narrows to the sound of your breath and the weight in your chest. The rest ends. You return to work. A different task. Filling cracks with crushed stone. You carry baskets. Back and forth. Over and over. Each one heavier than the last. Your arms burn. Your legs tighten. Your feet go numb. The wind shifts. A fine powder coats your skin. Your lips dry and crack. You wipe them with the edge of your cloth. It does not help. A block slips from its line. It falls. It shatters. The sound is sharp, like a bone breaking. A foreman shouts. Workers scatter. No one is hurt. This time, you gather the shards. Your hands bleed. The dust sticks to the cuts. You do not flinch. You do not speak. The sun lowers. The light turns gold. The work slows. Voices grow softer. Someone sings again. A different voice. Older. Rough. You cannot understand the words, but they settle over you like a net. Steady. Gentle. The day ends. The bell rings. You walk slowly back to camp. Your feet leave faint prints. The sky is red at the edges. The wind softer. At camp, a fire flickers. You sit near it. You do not speak. You listen. the crackle of flame, the sigh of cloth, the hum of tired men. You eat, you drink, you lie down, the stars blink above you, and the pyramid waits. The stars are still overhead when you wake, not because you are rested, because the wind changed. It whistles low between the reed walls, carrying sand and something colder. You sit up, your joints resist. Your head aches. A pain behind the eyes. Familiar. You blink it away. Most of the camp is still asleep. One man coughs. Another turns over. The fire is out. Ashes glow faintly in the dark. You stand, slowly, carefully. Your legs remember the slope. Your shoulders remember the pull. You wash your face with the last of the water in the bowl. It is cold. You gasp, then wipe your eyes. A child refills the jar from the central well. He hums to himself. You listen. You eat a scrap of bread. Dry. Hard. You dip it into a smear of oil. It softens. Slightly. You chew without thought. You do not taste it. The foreman's voice rises above the camp. Short. Sharp. A signal. The day begins. You walk with the others. A narrow path. Worn flat. The moon is still visible above the pyramid. A pale sliver. The blocks rise higher than before. Shadows stretch long against the sand. The wind is steady. It lifts your tunic slightly, carries grit into your eyes. You squint. You keep walking. At the sight, the tools wait. Ropes coiled, mallets stacked, buckets lined in rows. You take a wooden sled. You inspect the beams. One is cracked. You replace it. The foreman nods. Your task today is hauling rubble, leftover stone from blocks too small to use. It must be cleared, carried to the edge of the site, dumped, repeated. There is no chant, just movement. You lift a basket, heavy. You shift it to your shoulder. The edge digs into your collarbone. You walk. The path is uneven. Small rocks roll under your feet. The sun begins to rise. Slowly, reluctantly. You feel it on your neck first, then your arms, then your back. You do not sweat yet. You reach the drop site, a low slope at the edge of the compound, a place where broken things are left. You tip the basket. Stones tumble down the incline. Some settle. Some roll farther. You return. Another basket. Then another. By the third, your fingers sting. You flex them. You adjust your grip. You walk slower. By the sixth, your shirt is damp. Your back tight. Your breath uneven. You pause. You look at the pyramid. A line of men pull a block up the ramp. The chant echoes faintly. A slow rhythm, familiar, comforting, even from a distance. You lift another basket. The hours pass. You count them only by light. The shadows shift. The sun rises higher. Your arms go numb. Your feet bleed. You do not stop. At midday, the horn sounds. You return to the shaded edge of the camp. You sit. You eat. A thin stew. Lentils and grain. Warm. Almost too warm. But you finish it. You drink water. You close your eyes. Someone speaks. A story. Quiet. About a man who once worked the stones and found gold buried beneath the ramp. No one laughs. No one believes. But the voice is calm, and it helps. You rise. The work resumes. The rest of the day is more of the same. Baskets, stones, sand, pain. You do not notice the cuts until the sun touches them. Then they sting. Then they fade. At dusk, the final load is dropped. The slope is higher now, the rubble pile larger. The foreman marks the work on a board. He scratches lines with a reed pen. He does not speak. You walk back to the camp. The wind has cooled. The light turns gold, then gray. A child runs past you barefoot. You envy him. At camp, someone sings. A woman's voice, high and soft. It carries through the dusk like smoke. You do not understand the words, but you feel them. You wash your hands. The water is brown when you finish. You do not look at your fingers. You already know. You sit beside the fire. You eat. You stare at the flame, the crackle, the flicker, the glow. It feels distant. Someone tells another story about a worker who climbed to the top and shouted the name of a lost god. The foreman heard. The worker vanished. No one says if it's true. You lie down. The mat is thin. The air smells of sweat and dust. You wrap the cloth around your head. You close your eyes. The wind shifts again, and the stones wait. The wind is louder tonight. It hums against the walls of your shelter, a low, steady note that weaves into your sleep. You wake before the sun. Your eyes open slowly. You stare at the roof. Reeds, dust, a tiny spider in the corner, unmoving. You sit up. Your shoulders are tight. Your back sore. Nothing new. Outside, the sky is still dark. Just a thin line of gray where the light will come. A few men are already awake, stretching, rubbing their knees. Quiet. You nod at one. He nods back. The fire from last night is out. Just ashes. You chew a strip of dried fig. Sweet. A rare thing. You savor it. The sweetness lingers on your tongue, then fades. A boy passes with a jar of water. You drink. It is warm. You hand the jar back. He does not speak. Today, your task is lifting stone dust to mix with lime, a binding paste for joints. It must be fine. It must be even. You walk to the mound near the southern edge of the site, a pile of crushed rock, gray and soft. The wind carries it easily. It clings to your skin, your nose, your eyes. You wrap cloth across your face. You fill a shallow pan with dust. You carry it to the mortar pit. You dump it. You return. You do this again and again. The path is short. The work is not. By mid-morning, the sun is strong. It presses from above like weight. The dust coats your arms, your hair, your chest. You sweat. The sweat turns to paste. Your skin itches. You do not scratch. You keep walking. A man nearby coughs. Harsh. Repeated. He wipes his mouth. There is red on his sleeve. He does not stop working. The overseer inspects the paste. He dips his fingers in. He lifts it. Watches how it falls. He nods. That is good. You carry more dust. Your steps slow. Your knees ache. You shift the pan from one side to the other. Your grip weakens. At midday, the horn sounds. You sit in the shade of a half-built wall. The stone is warm against your back. You close your eyes. You do not sleep. Just stillness. Your hands rest in your lap, covered in powder, your nails lined with white. The meal is simple. A bowl of grain, a slice of something bitter. You chew slowly. A man beside you hums, a tune with no words. You know it. You do not remember how. The break ends. You return to the dust. The work continues. A rhythm. Pan. Lift. Walk. Dump. Return. Over and over. The sky grows brighter, then dimmer. You do not notice. You are inside the motion, a part of it. Late in the day, a cart arrives, pulled by oxen. Large blocks, newly carved, smooth, heavy. They wait at the base of the ramp. Men gather. Ropes are thrown. You are not called to pull. Not today. You watch. The chant begins. The cart creaks. The oxen grunt. The block shifts. It moves. Slowly. The chant grows louder. The block climbs. Higher. Higher. One man stumbles. He is helped up. The block reaches the platform. The chant stops. The sun dips. The shadows stretch. The wind cools. You finish your final load of dust. You wipe your hands on your tunic. You breathe deeply. The air is dry. It smells of sweat and stone. You return to camp. Tonight the fire is stronger. Someone found extra wood. It crackles brightly. You sit close. Your hands near the flame. Your skin tingles. A man speaks. A story, not of gods, not of kings, but of a river that runs beneath the sand, invisible, cold. He says he dreamed of it. No one interrupts. You eat. A bowl of lentils. Warm, salty. You drink water. Cool. You lean back on your hands. You look at the sky. The stars are sharp, clear. The moon is thin. You think of your home, far from here. A village with fields. A sister. A tree that bent toward the sun. You have not seen them in seasons. You do not know if they remain. You do not ask. The fire dims. You lie down. You pull your cloth tighter. The wind moves softly across the camp. A dog barks once. Then silence. You close your eyes. Tomorrow waits. Like the stone, the morning does not come all at once. It seeps in slowly, through cracks, through silence, through the breath of the earth itself. You wake to it, not startled, not rested, simply aware that the night has ended. You stretch your legs beneath the mat. One foot touches cold sand. The other rests on something round. A stone. You move it aside. You sit up. The air is thick today. Still. No wind yet. Just warmth. Waiting. A bird cries somewhere beyond the camp. The sound is sharp. It does not repeat. You rise. Your ankles are stiff. You rotate them carefully. A muscle in your back pulls. Not enough to stop you. Just enough to remind you that yesterday happened. You eat in silence. Bread. Dry. Water. Warm. You wipe your mouth with the cloth around your shoulder. The foreman's voice breaks the stillness. A name. Then another. Then yours. You nod and walk. The sight feels different this morning. The dust is heavier. The air tastes of stone. Today, you are sent to the northern edge where blocks are being shaped. Not lifted, not hauled. Cut. The tools are simple. A copper chisel, a wooden mallet, a wedge of stone for measuring. The block before you is rough, fresh from the quarry. It must be smoothed, fitted, flattened. You strike the chisel, once, twice. The sound echoes down the line. Others do the same. Tap, tap, tap. A rhythm without music, a song without voice. Chips fall, small pieces first, then larger. You wipe your brow. The dust settles on your face. You do not brush it away. The sun rises. You shift your weight from one leg to the other. You adjust your grip. The chisel slips. You stop. You breathe. You begin again. Hours pass like this. Tap, chip, brush, repeat. The block takes shape. Straight lines, clean edges. It begins to resemble purpose. At the next station, a boy drops his mallet. It rolls into the sand. He chases it. The foreman frowns, but says nothing. The boy returns, his eyes down. You feel a blister form on your palm. You do not look at it. You press the chisel again. At midday, the horn sounds. You lower your tools. Your fingers vibrate. Your arms ache. The block is half done. You sit in the shade, a thin awning stretched across two poles. It flaps lightly in the breeze that has finally arrived. You drink water. Slowly, you chew a date. Soft, sweet. The pit rolls between your fingers. You toss it into the sand. Someone speaks. A joke. Quiet. A few men smile. Not laughter. Just a curve of the mouth. A release. The break ends. You return to the stone. The sun is harsher now. It glints off the chisel's edge. You squint. You lower your head. You keep working. The second half of the block is harder. The lines must be perfect. The fit exact. No cracks. No shift. The stone must not speak once placed. You tap. You scrape. You pause. You breathe. A man beside you stands too fast. He stumbles. His leg cramps. He sits again. His face is pale. The foreman sees. He walks away. No one speaks. The afternoon drags. The dust thickens. Your skin is dry beneath the sweat. Your lips split when you smile. So you stop smiling. You finish your block as the sun lowers. A final tap. A clean edge. You step back. The foreman nods once. That is enough. You walk slowly to the water station. You dip your hands in the basin. The water is brown. You cup it anyway. You drink. You rinse your face. The dirt remains. The walk to camp is longer today. Not in distance. In weight. Your arms hang low. Your knees bend more than they should. At camp, the fire is already burning. You sit close. You eat from a clay bowl. Stew. Grain. Something green. You do not ask what. It fills your stomach. That is all. A man sings. Not loudly. A single verse. Then silence. Another man hums the same tune. It passes from voice to voice like a thread. You lie down. The stars above are faint. The sky is hazy. Your eyes close. You feel the rhythm of the chisel still in your hands. The shape of the block still in your memory. The wind is quiet. And the work remains. The sky is darker than usual when you wake. No stars, no moon, just the faintest glow at the edge of everything. You do not rise immediately. You listen. The camp is still. A cough, a rustle, a whispered name. Then nothing. You shift your weight. Your hip is sore. A stone beneath the mat. You remove it. You sit up. The air smells of earth. And something else. Rain? No. Just clouds. Thick and unmoving. You stand. You stretch. Slowly. Your back cracks softly. You touch your toes. Your fingers brush the sand. A habit. Not for relief. For motion. A boy hands you a bowl. Porridge. Warm. You nod. He smiles. A rare thing. You eat. The warmth settles in your chest. You drink water from a clay cup. It tastes of last night's smoke. The call comes. A low whistle. Then a name. Then another. You follow. Today, your task is lifting finished blocks. The ones shaped by others. Measured. Approved. Ready. You do not cut today. You carry. The platform is tall. The ramp is long. The wind is absent. The heat, not yet arrived, but you feel it waiting. You and 5 others surround a sled. The block on it is pale and square, smooth on 3 sides. You loop your hands through the rope. You nod. The chant begins. Low, from the chest. Not words, just rhythm. You pull. Slowly, carefully. The sled creaks. The sand shifts. The block moves. You breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Your foot slips. You recover. The rope burns your palms. You do not stop. The ramp climbs ahead of you. Each step a question, each breath a weight. You keep moving. At the first turn, you pause. The block settles. You drink. A girl offers water. Her arms are thin, her face covered. Only her eyes visible. They do not blink. You nod. She disappears. The second pull is harder. The sun has found you now. The heat wraps around your chest. Your shirt sticks. Your arms tremble. You sing the chant louder. The others follow. At the top, the platform waits. A worker waves. You adjust your grip. One last pull. The block slides into position. The chant stops. You kneel. Your arms across your knees. Your breath ragged. You press your forehead to the stone. It is hot and solid and done. You stand. The foreman inspects the alignment. He adjusts one edge. He taps the side. He steps back. He does not speak. You descend the ramp. At the base, another sled, another block, smaller. Alone, you drag it. No chant. Just the sound of rope sliding across dust. You grit your teeth. You lean forward. The block follows. You do not stop until it reaches the slope. Another team takes over. You nod. They nod back. Midday comes. The horn sounds. You sit on a flat stone. Your knees pointed upward. Your arms draped over them. A bowl is passed. You eat slowly. The stew is thick, slightly sweet. Someone used dates. A gift. Someone speaks of the river. Not the Nile. A hidden one. Beneath the stone. It flows in silence. It listens. If you place your ear to the blocks at night, you can hear it. A worker laughs. Quietly. Not at the story. At the idea of listening. The The break ends. You rise. The afternoon is hotter. Still no wind. The dust floats in clouds. It stings your eyes. You pull the cloth tighter. You squint. You help push a block into place. You steady a beam. You tie a knot in a frayed rope. You move from task to task. Nothing planned, only needed. You hear a shout. A man has fallen. From the platform. He is still breathing, but wrong. Bent. The others carry him. You do not look at his face. You return to your work. The blocks do not pause. The sun does not wait. When evening comes, you are not aware at first. Only the light changes. The heat softens. The sky dims. The horn sounds again. You walk to camp. Slowly. You do not feel your feet. Just motion. Habit. At camp, someone is cooking flatbread. The scent drifts. Familiar. You eat too. You thank the cook. She nods. Her hands are covered in flour. She does not speak. A man plays a flute. Poorly, but gently. The notes fall like sand. Uneven, but true. You lie on your mat, your hands behind your head. You watch the sky. A single star appears, then fades. The clouds remain. You close your eyes, and the stone does not move. The sky is brighter when you wake, but not because of sun, because the clouds have thinned. A pale silver light spreads across the sand. You blink against it. Your eyes dry. Your throat tighter than usual. You cough once. A low sound. No one turns. You sit up. Your hands find the mat. Your back curves forward. You stretch your arms across your knees. You stay there for a moment. Not tired. Just not ready to stand. A girl hands you a bowl, flatbread, and something soft. You dip one into the other. You chew slowly. It sticks to your teeth. You drink from a shallow cup. The water is cooler than yesterday. You swallow with effort. The call comes. The names. The tasks. You listen. Yours is spoken. You rise. Today, you are assigned to the loading station, not at the base of the pyramid, farther out, near the edge of the camp, where new blocks arrive from the quarry, where sleds are tied, where wood is placed beneath the stone to ease the pull. You stand by the oxen, 2 pairs, tied together, eyes dull, shoulders raw from rope. A boy checks the harness. You wait. The first load arrives. A cart. 2 blocks. Not large. Not shaped. Just rough cubes. You and the others lower them gently. Rollers are placed. Ropes pulled. The sled shifts forward. The chant begins. Not loud. Not strong. But steady. Enough to move the weight. You guide the sled toward the southern path, one hand on the rope, one hand steadying the edge. The oxen grunt. The wheels creak. The dust rises. The path curves. A man slips. The block tilts. You push back. It settles. No one falls. The chant does not break. At the station, the blocks are stacked. Not for use today, for later, for another team, for another level. You rest the sled. You step away. The overseer counts, marks the number with a stick on the ground. He waves you away. You return to the cart. Another block. Another pull. By midday, your arms are numb. Your feet drag. You drink water, warm, from a jar passed down the line. You wipe your mouth. You spit into the sand. You do not taste it. You sit on a flat stone, your knees to your chest. A girl offers you a handful of dried beans. You chew them one by one, each with effort, each loud in your ears. The sun is not hot today, just heavy. It settles on your shoulders like cloth soaked in dust. You do not sweat. You do not shiver. You simply are. Someone hums, a rhythm without melody. It lingers, then fades. The afternoon brings smaller tasks, moving beams, coiling ropes, mending a leather strap that split beneath the oxen's yoke. You use a bone needle. Your fingers shake slightly. You do not speak of it. At the edge of the camp, a new group arrives, fresh from the river, young, thin, quiet. Their eyes scan the sight, their hands still clean. They will not be clean for long. You nod at one. He nods back. He looks afraid. You understand. The work continues, the same as yesterday, the same as tomorrow. As the sun begins to lower, a man collapses near the block pile. His hands clutch his stomach. He groans once, then lies still. 2 others lift him. A third carries his tools. No one follows. The horn sounds. You return to camp. Tonight, the fire is low. The wood is damp. The smoke is thick. It clings to your skin, your clothes, your eyes. You sit beside it anyway. You eat slowly, a mash of lentils and garlic. Strong. It burns slightly. You do not mind. A child draws in the sand with a stick. Circles, lines, shapes with no names. Her mother watches, silent. The stars return, one by one. You count 5, then you stop. You lie on your back. The mat feels softer than usual, or your body is too tired to notice. You close your eyes. You hear the cartwheels in your mind. You feel the rope in your fingers. You dream of nothing, only silence, only weight. The air is thick with dust when you wake. It clings to your lips, your lashes, the inside of your nose. You wipe your face with the cloth you sleep in. It makes no difference. The dust is always there, in the camp, in the work, in your breath. You sit up, your knees crack. You feel the stiffness in your hips, like cold stone lodged beneath the skin. You stretch, slowly, your arms to the sky. Your back bends. Something shifts in your ribs. You cough. The sun is rising faster today. No clouds. The sky is a pale yellow already. It will be hot before long. You eat a piece of dried bread. Thin. It crumbles in your hand. You drink water from a shared jar. A child fills it. His hands are shaking. You nod to him. He nods back. He runs away. The call comes. You stand. Today, your station is far from the camp. Beyond the pyramid, behind the ridge, a pile of broken stone waits. You are to sort it. Large pieces to one side, dust to another. Stones flat enough to stack are saved. Everything else is thrown into the pit. The walk is long, quiet. The sand is soft. Your sandals sink with each step. Your shoulders tighten. You reach the site. No one else is here yet. A vulture circles overhead. You do not look at it. The pile is taller than you. Sharp edges, cracks, pieces from blocks that split during carving or fell from the ramp, some still stained with blood. You pick up the first stone. Heavy, rough. You carry it 10 steps to the right. You drop it. Then another, and another. You do this for hours. The sun climbs. The wind does not come. Your mouth is dry. Your fingers split. A small cut opens on your thumb. The blood is dark. It dries quickly. By midday, you are no longer alone. 2 others join you. One is old. The other younger than you remember being. They nod. You nod back. No words. You work beside them. No rhythm. No chant. Just the sound of stone. Falling. Sliding. Breaking. You rest for a moment on a flat rock. Your legs stretched. Your hands limp. The sky blurs. You close your eyes. You breathe deeply. The air tastes of heat. Someone passes a cup. Water. You drink. It is warm. You hand it back. The older man speaks, a story about his first day. He dropped a block on his foot, broke 2 toes. They healed crooked. He shows you. You nod. You do not laugh. The younger one asks how much longer the pyramid will grow. The older man shrugs until it stops. That is his answer. You return to the pile. You sort. You stack. You scrape your knuckles on a corner. You bleed. The blood mixes with dust. You do not clean it. By evening, the pit is fuller, the stack taller. Your arms tremble. Your legs shake. You feel the weight in your chest. The sun sinks. The sky turns orange, then red, then gray. You walk back to camp. The sand feels softer now, or your steps are heavier. You watch your feet. You count each one. At camp, the fire is high. Someone has found dry wood. The flames leap. They cast shadows across faces. The faces do not change. You eat. A stew made with barley and onions. Salty. Hot. You burn your tongue. You keep eating. A man plays a flute. A child sings along. Her voice is thin, but clear. A sound you have not heard in many days. You sit by the fire longer than usual, your arms wrapped around your knees. You stare at the flames. You do not speak. The wind returns. Gentle, it carries the scent of ash, of sweat, of something sweet from the cook's corner. You lie down. You pull the cloth over your eyes. You try not to think. You try not to dream. You listen for the vulture. You hear nothing. You sleep. The wind is still when you wake. No sound. No movement. The kind of silence that makes even your breath feel loud. You open your eyes. The sky is pale, but not yet gold. A soft gray rests over the camp, like a second blanket. You sit up slowly. Your spine stiffens. Your shoulders resist. You stretch without force. A pot clinks in the distance. A bird calls once. Then nothing. You stand. The mat beneath you is warm. The ground already holding the heat of the day before. You roll your shoulders. You rub your eyes. You do not speak. Today begins like most days, with bread, with water, with dust in the air before the sun fully rises. You eat while standing. You drink with both hands around the cup. A man nearby sneezes. The sound echoes briefly, then fades. The call comes. You walk. Your name is marked near the western path, near the edge of the quarry wall, the old one, the place where the stone is no longer fresh but still needed, smaller pieces, filler, blocks used inside, where no one will see. You work with 2 others. One man you know, the other you do not. He is missing 2 fingers. His grip is strange. His work is not slow. You are given a chisel, dull, a mallet, worn. The stone is already marked. You follow the lines. You chip. You strike. You brush the dust aside. The sun rises faster than expected. The shadows grow short. The heat swells upward from the sand and downward from the sky. You feel caught between them. The stone is stubborn. Veins inside it make the cut uneven. You adjust. You strike again. A corner breaks early, useless now. You drag it to the discard pile. You begin again. The man beside you works in silence, his strokes careful, his breath steady. He does not stop often. He does not look up. By midday, your arms burn. Your wrists throb. You sit on the edge of the quarry, your legs dangling. A jar of water passes. You drink. You do not thank anyone. No one expects it. Someone speaks. A memory. A father who worked stone. A brother who did not. The brother was sent to the river. Boats. Nets. He never came back. No one knows why. You nod. The break is short. You return to the block. The sun is relentless. You wrap a cloth around your head again. The sweat beneath it is thick. Your hands slip on the mallet. You tighten your grip. You strike. The second block splits cleanly. You smile, only slightly. You lift it with the others. You carry it to the sled. It fits. A horn sounds from the pyramid. A signal. A block has fallen. Far away. But everyone hears it. No one speaks of it. You keep working. By afternoon, your mouth is dry. You chew a strip of something sour. Dried fruit. It helps. Barely. The wind returns. It carries sand across the quarry wall. It stings your skin. You squint. You wipe your eyes. You do not stop. A voice calls from above. A rope is lowered. A hook. The block is lifted. Slowly. Carefully. It sways, then rises beyond view. You sit again. Not long. Just enough. Another block is ready. Another sled. Another rope. You tie it yourself. Twice. Evening approaches without warning. The sky shifts. The heat lingers. The air grows heavier, not cooler. You walk back with the others. No one speaks. Just footsteps. Some limping. All in rhythm. At camp, the fire is small. Low flames. Enough for warmth. Not enough for stories. You eat a flat cake of grain. Dry, but fresh. A gift from a visitor. A priest, they say. Passed through before sunrise. Left food. Left silence. A man sharpens a knife. Slowly. With care. No one asks why. No one watches. You lie down. You press your hands to your chest. You feel your heartbeat. Slow. Heavy. Certain. You look at the sky. No clouds. No stars. Just stillness. You close your eyes, and beneath them the stone waits. The morning light is softer today, less gold, more gray. The sky holds back the sun as if uncertain. You wake with a weight in your chest. Not pain, not fear, just the memory of effort. You sit up. Your arms rest on your knees. You stay there for a while. The camp is slow to rise. Fewer voices, less motion. The fire from last night has left a ring of ash. A dog sleeps nearby, thin, breathing quietly. You do not wake it. You wash your face with cool water. The bowl was left by the girl who brings it each day. You nod when she walks by. She does not stop. Your meal is smaller than usual. A heel of bread, a smear of bean paste. You eat with your fingers. You lick them clean. You wipe them on your tunic. The cloth is stiff with old sweat and dust. The call comes. Your name is listed near the eastern ramp. A hauling group. You walk slowly, your legs tight, your back aching from the quarry work. You roll your shoulders. You breathe in. You keep walking. The ramp curves along the base of the pyramid, a wide path, steep in parts, smooth in others, dusty, packed by thousands of steps. Today, you help guide the blocks. The rope is thick, frayed in places. Your hands know the grip. You loop your fingers. You plant your feet. The chant begins. The block moves slowly. A team of 12. You are on the rear right. A position of balance, pressure, caution. The sun is not high yet, but the air is warm. The block rolls, then shifts, then jerks. You brace your arms. The man beside you stumbles. The chant falters, but the block keeps moving. You regain the rhythm. The chant returns. You sweat. The platform at the top waits. A team stands ready to receive. You pull with steady force, each step exact. You reach the last slope. The rope tightens. The block stops. Adjustments are made. Then the final pull. It is placed. The chant ends. You sit on the edge of the platform. Your legs hang over the side. A gust of wind lifts your tunic. It feels cold against your skin. You close your eyes, just for a breath. Another block waits. You return to the base. By midday, your hands are raw. The rope cuts deeper. You wrap cloth around each palm. The sweat makes it slip. You do not stop. The break comes late. The sun high. The shadows small. You find a patch of shade behind a cart. You lean against the wheel. You drink. A boy shares a handful of dried peas. You chew them slowly. They crack between your teeth. Someone mentions a worker who disappeared, left in the night. No one saw him go. No one heard. Just an empty mat and footprints leading east. Someone else says he saw a falcon watching from the wall that morning. No one replies. The afternoon begins with a lighter block. 4 men. No chant, just grunts. It slides easily. The platform team is waiting. You nod at one of them. He nods back. Familiar, quiet. You notice the pyramid's edge has grown, a corner sharper, a step higher. You are part of it. One piece of many, but a piece still. At the base, a man sharpens a wedge, his hands steady, his mouth tight. The tool sings against the stone. You watch, then turn away. The last haul of the day is long. The block is heavy. One rope breaks mid-pull. The team stops. Tension. Silence. A replacement is found. The chant resumes. No one speaks afterward. Evening settles slowly. The sky fades from white to blue to gray. You walk with the others back to camp. A girl sings. A short song. You do not know the words, but they rise and fall like wind. At camp, the fire is higher. Someone is baking flatbread. The scent spreads. You eat quietly. You drink slowly. Your eyes sting. You rub them. The dust stays. A man speaks of a dream. A staircase in the desert. Each step a different voice. Each voice saying his name. He woke with sand in his mouth. No one answers. But they listen. You lie down. The mat is warm from the day. Your fingers throb. Your shoulders burn. You press your cheek to the cloth. You breathe slowly. Tomorrow will come. The pyramid will grow, and you will rise. The morning comes with wind, a steady breeze from the west. It carries the smell of the river, though you are far from it. Wet reeds, distant fish, the faint memory of cooler air. You open your eyes slowly. Your mouth is dry. You swallow. You sit up. The camp moves earlier today. Someone is already sharpening tools. The scrape of stone against copper breaks the silence. A pot rattles near the fire. Footsteps pass behind you. You tie the cloth around your head. The wind pulls at it. You eat in silence. A mash of beans and flatbread. You chew without thought. You drink deeply. The water is warmer than usual. You wipe your lips with the back of your hand. The list is read. Your name is paired with 4 others. A special task. Transporting tools from the north. Storage to the western quarry. Not a hard job, but not short either. You walk with them. The path curves along the dunes. The sun rises behind you. Your shadow stretches long ahead. You carry baskets, each filled with chisels, ropes, wedges, cloths, nails. The weight is not much, but constant. The rope digs into your shoulder. You shift it every few steps. The man beside you hums, a tune without words. It fades when the wind rises. No one speaks. You reach the quarry after a long walk. The wind stirs the sand into low waves. A foreman meets you. He points to a shaded corner. You place the baskets down. He nods once. You turn back, but not to the camp. Today, you stay to assist. You fetch water for the carvers. You hold a plank steady while another hammers a wedge. You sweep the sand from the cutting lines. You listen to instructions without question. A chisel breaks. You are sent to replace it. You walk quickly. The storage tent smells of oiled leather and iron. You take a new tool. You return. The work continues. By midday, your shoulders ache from the walk. Your legs are sore from standing. Your hands itch with stillness. You miss the feel of the rope, the sound of the block sliding. You watch the carvers. Their rhythm is smooth. Their hands know each motion. You sit in the shade of a broken wall. You eat a dried fig. You press your back to the stone. A lizard scurries past your foot. You do not move. Someone asks about your home. You tell them it was near the hills, dry land, few trees, goats. Your father taught you to mend rope. Your brother to catch insects with a reed trap. They listen. No one replies. The afternoon returns you to lifting. A block has split unevenly. You help move the pieces to the discard pit. You lift the edge. You count to 3. You heave. It slides. You do it again. Your feet slip once. You fall to one knee. A voice calls out. You wave it away. You stand. Your leg throbs, but you walk. Dust covers your arms, your hair, your eyelids. You blink it away. It returns. Near the end of the day, you help tie a rope bundle. The knot must hold firm under strain. You double it, then double again. You pull tight. The man beside you inspects it. He nods. That is all. You walk back to camp as the sun drops. The wind softens. The air cools. At camp, someone has made stew. Lentils, onions, crushed dates. The pot is deep. You eat 3 bowls. You drink from a new jar. The water tastes of clay. You do not mind. A woman sings, her voice low, like wind in grass. No one joins. No one interrupts. When she finishes, the camp is silent again. You lie on your mat, your body tired in a different way, not from pulling, but from being everywhere, holding, fetching, walking, watching. You stare at the sky. No stars yet. Just a long stretch of fading color. You blink slowly. You think of the tools, the ropes, the baskets, and then you sleep. You wake before the call. A sharp sound in the distance woke you. Not a voice, not a horn, a crack, like wood splitting. You sit up quickly. Your heart beats faster than usual. You look around. The camp is still dark. A few embers glow near the fire pit. A pot clinks in the wind. You stand. Your body is sore, but not more than normal. Your leg still tight from yesterday's slip. You stretch it. You bend. You rise. You breathe. The sun is not yet up. The horizon is a dull line. You chew a small piece of bread from your pouch, left from last night. It is hard. You drink water. You close your eyes. You wait. The call comes later than usual. Today, you are sent to the upper level, near the crown of the pyramid. A special lift has been set, a new angle, a dangerous path. You are told to move supplies, ropes, wedges, clay markers. Not heavy, but many. The climb begins. The platform is narrow, each step closer to the sky. You keep your balance. Your sandals grip the stone. The wind stronger here. It catches your tunic, pulls at your chest. You brace yourself. You pass a man kneeling by a blocks. He is shaping the corner with a fine chisel, his eyes focused, his hand steady. You do not disturb him. The view is wide. The desert stretches in every direction. The river is a thin silver line. The camp looks small. People like ants, ropes like threads. You reach the top. A new platform, bare, ready for the next layer. A foreman greets you. He does not smile. He points to a corner. You place the basket there. He walks away. You descend to retrieve another load. The climb takes longer now. Your legs burn. Your hands ache from holding the rail. The second basket is heavier. You shift the weight from shoulder to shoulder. You do not stop. At the top again, you see the first block of the day lifted. It rises slowly from below. A group chants. The block sways gently in the wind. You watch it reach the platform. You step back. It is placed. Work begins. You move between tasks, holding tools, placing wedges, wiping dust from measurements. The workers speak little. Every word must be shouted. The wind carries most of it away. You stay near the edge, watching, lifting, waiting. At midday, the sun is above you. No shadows. The heat is sharp. The wind brings no relief. You drink water from a shared jug. You sit behind a block. The stone is hot, but it blocks the wind. A man nearby speaks of dreams, not of home, not of rest, of the pyramid, of standing at the top, of seeing the gods. He does not laugh. You do not answer. The break is short. You return to lifting. The platform shifts under your feet. A new beam is placed. A rope tightens. A worker shouts. Something slips. A tool falls. It bounces off the edge. It is gone. No one moves for a moment. Then the chant begins again. You walk the length of the top platform, from edge to edge, counting steps, checking ropes. You replace a marker. You smooth the sand. You adjust a knot. Evening creeps in. Slowly. The sky darkens. The wind grows cooler. You watch as the last block is placed. The chant ends. The team sits. No one speaks. You descend carefully. Your feet feel each step. Your fingers trail the rope for balance. The camp grows larger with every level down. The fire smoke rises to meet you. At camp, the food is ready. Thick soup with lentils. A small piece of fish. A rare thing. You eat slowly. The taste strong after dust. You drink. You listen to a man telling a story of stars, of patterns, of names given to shapes in the sky. You do not know them, but you listen. The fire is low, the wind quiet. You lie on your mat. You think of the top, of the view, of the block that almost slipped, of the silence above everything. You breathe, you rest, you sleep. The stars are still above when you open your eyes. You see them between gaps in the cloth above your mat. You do not move yet. The ground is cool. The air smells faintly of ash and earth. You listen. No footsteps. No voices. Just wind. You rise slowly. Your limbs protest. Your hands stiff. You rub your palms together. You stretch your back. The sky begins to pale. A faint line of light over the eastern hills. You eat early. A mash of lentils from the night before. Cold, thick. You drink from the jar. You swish the water in your mouth. It tastes of stone. The list is red while the sky is still gray. You are sent east again, but not to the quarry, to the storage pits. Large holes dug deep into the ground, covered with thatch, protected from sun, filled with tools, food, spare cloth, and broken pieces yet to be sorted. You have not worked there before. The walk is quiet. The sand crunches beneath your feet. You pass a man leading a goat. You nod. He nods back. At the pits, the supervisor waits. He points to a list. You are to count supplies, move broken tools, clean out debris. Simple work, but tedious. The pit smells of dust and mold. The air is stale. You climb down a ladder of tied branches. Your sandals slip once. You grip the edge. You descend. Inside, it is dim. Shafts of sunlight cut through cracks. You see motes of dust in every beam. You blink. You wait for your eyes to adjust. You begin sorting. Wooden handles to one side, bent chisels to another. Rope pieces are bundled. Cloth is folded. You find a pot with dried grain. You shake it gently. A mouse leaps out. It scurries away. You do not follow. You work in silence, the space small, the ceiling low. Your back curves with every motion. You feel the ache spreading early. Another man enters. He carries a basket. He speaks your name. You nod. You take the basket. Inside are copper nails, blunted, bent. You place them carefully. You mark the pile. By midday, the pit is hot. The sun above pushes heat through the thatch. The air thickens. You wipe your face. Your fingers smear grime across your cheek. You do not clean it. You climb out. You sit by the edge. You chew dried fruit. Sour. Tough. You drink water. A woman nearby sharpens a blade. You hear the scrape. Steady. Slow. She speaks without looking up. She tells you her son works the ramp. He is small, but strong. He broke a toe last week. Still pulls rope. She says this without pride. Only fact. You nod. You do not answer. The second half of the day is spent outside. You stack bundles of reeds. You move cracked jars to one side. You sweep the space near the entrance. You tie broken baskets for later mending. A child runs past you once, laughing, then gone. You wonder where his mat is, who his mother is. You do not ask. Later, you carry a crate toward the carpenter's tent. Inside, men shape beams and wedge handles. The sound of chisels echoes. You place the crate near the entrance. A man waves. You turn and walk back. Evening comes slowly. The air cools in waves. The sky fades. The wind picks up sand and lifts it in low swirls. You shield your eyes. You keep walking. At camp, the fire is small. A stew simmers. The scent of onion and grain. You eat 2 bowls. You wipe the edge with bread. You drink. You sigh once, loud enough to hear. No one looks. Someone begins humming. A soft sound, repeated. It carries between mats. It continues even after the fire dims. You lie on your back. The sky clear. Stars above again. Bright. Cold. Still. You press your hand to your chest. You close your eyes. The pit returns in your mind. The smell. The dust. The silence. You drift. You rest. You disappear. You wake with your hands still on your chest. The stars are gone. The sky is a soft blue. No sun yet. Just the promise of light. You roll to your side. Your arm tingles from sleep. You stretch it out. You sit up. The camp is quiet. A few figures move between mats. A cough. A whisper. The clink of a pot lid. You stand. You walk toward the edge of the camp. You find a flat stone. You sit on it. You watch the sky change. The first sunbeams appear slowly. They touch the tops of tents, the edge of the fire ring, your face. You close your eyes. You feel the warmth. You eat with others. The same mash. A slice of bread. The water today is cooler. It tastes better. The list is read. Your name is listed with a hauling group again. South ramp. Heavy block. 6 men. You walk with them. The sun's still low. The ground cool. The block is already loaded on the sled. Ropes prepared. Sand spread to reduce friction. You take your position. Middle left. You test the rope. It is rough, but firm. The foreman gives a signal. You pull. The first stretch is smooth. The block slides with slow rhythm. The chant begins. A low, steady hum. Feet march in time. Arms pull together. The block creaks. You reach a slope. The rope tightens. Your legs strain. You lean forward. Your arms burn. The chant grows louder. You feel sweat on your back. The sun climbs. Halfway up, the block catches on something. A stone. A dip. The motion stops. The chant falters. You brace yourself. The foreman shouts. 2 men shift the sled. You push with your shoulder. The block jerks forward, then moves again. You reach the platform. You stop. Your breath is fast. Your fingers ache. You stretch your hands. You drink from a shared jar. The block is unfastened, pulled toward its place. You step back. The team rests under a slanted cloth. Thin shade. You sit on the edge. You eat dried peas. A man nearby hums. You tap your fingers in time. You do not speak. After the rest, a second block is prepared. Lighter. 4 men. You help guide it from the side. The chant returns. Quieter this time, but steady. The afternoon heat arrives quickly. The ramp feels longer. The wind dies. The sweat does not dry. You squint against the sun. You wipe your forehead. Dust sticks to your skin. By mid-afternoon, your tunic is soaked. Your arms tremble. Your sandals slip once. A voice steadies you. You nod. You pull again. The last block is smaller. A quick haul. No chant. Just grunts and short breaths. You place it carefully. The foreman nods once. The team breaks apart. You stay behind to clear tools. You coil the rope. You carry wedges back to a crate. You sweep sand from the edge. Your back bends slowly. You stand again. The view from the platform is wide. The desert flat. The horizon soft. You see smoke from another camp far away. You wonder what they build. Evening nears. You walk back alone. Your steps slow. The sand warm underfoot. You roll your shoulders. You stretch your fingers. You breathe. At camp, food is served later. A thick porridge. A few strips of dried meat. A rare treat. You chew slowly. You close your eyes with each bite. Someone tells a story. A boy who climbed the pyramid at night. looking for stars. He slipped, broke his leg. Now he counts jars in the storage tent. Still smiling, you lie on your mat, your arms by your side, your legs straight, your body heavy. The stars are faint above you. The sky is quiet. You think of the ramp, the chant, the rope, the sun. You close your eyes, and sleep finds you before thought does. The air is warmer than usual when you wake. The sky already pale, the stars long gone. A layer of heat rests over the camp, like a thick cloth. You sit up slowly. Your mat is damp with sweat. You roll your shoulders. You breathe. Someone is already walking past, carrying rope. No words, just movement. You eat quickly today. The bread is thin. The mash is thicker than usual. You drink from a clay cup. It is cracked near the rim. You turn it slowly and sip. The call is short. Your name is on the list again. Today, back to the quarry. A new wall is being opened. Large stone. Deeper cut. More hands needed. You walk with a group. The sand feels softer than normal. The sun higher than expected. The sky cloudless. At the quarry, the foreman points. A new face is with him. A young man. His arms thin. His feet wrapped in fresh cloth. He looks nervous. He is placed beside you. You nod. He nods back. You are given a chisel, sharper than the last. A mallet, heavier. The stone is freshly exposed, the line marked in red clay. You kneel beside it. You begin. The young man watches first. His hands twitch. His eyes follow each strike. You show him how to hold the tool, where to press, where not to hit. He listens. He tries. His grip is wrong. The angle too steep. The chisel slips. A corner chips early. You take it back. You show him again. Slower this time. He nods. He tries again. Better. The stone is dense. Darker inside. It resists. You strike harder. You find the rhythm. You breathe with each hit. You pause. You clear dust. You continue. The sun climbs. By midday, the cut is halfway done. Your arms shake. Your back tight. The young man sweats more than you, but his strikes improve. He learns. You break for food. A soft cake of grain, a strip of dried onion, a handful of seeds. The young man sits beside you. He says his father worked wood. His mother carried water to the camp. He was chosen for stone. He does not know why. You nod. You drink. The jug passes between workers. One man coughs. Another laughs. No reason given. You return to the wall. The second half of the cut is slower. The stone curves unexpectedly. The chisel catches. You adjust. You shift position. You wipe your hands. You breathe through your nose. The young man chips a small wedge free. His first piece. He smiles. You do not. But you nod again. By late afternoon, the block is loose. You wedge it from the side. You and two others pull. It slides. It drops into place. The sound is deep, satisfying, final. You rest your arms. The mallet hangs at your side. You drink again. A drop runs down your chin. You leave it. You spend the last hour smoothing the cut face. The young man helps. His strokes uneven, but gentle. The surface takes shape. Flat, ready for the next block. The sun begins to fall. You carry tools to the crate. The chisel is dulled now, the mallet dented. You place them carefully. You wipe your hands on your tunic. The dust clings to the sweat. You walk back with the young man. He talks softly about his brother, about his first sandals, about a time he saw a cobra near the tent. You listen. You say nothing. At camp, the fire is larger tonight. Wood was brought from the river. A feast is rumored. You smell roasted grain, cooked beans, a clay pot filled with stew. You eat 3 bowls. The warmth fills your belly. You lean back. You watch the sky. A man tells a tale about a jackal that followed him for days. A silent shadow. He gave it a name. Then one day, it was gone. The group laughs. You smile once. Small. Brief. You lie on your mat. You feel your arms pulse. You feel the stone still in your hands. You close your eyes. The sound of the block dropping repeats in your mind. You breathe once, then again, then no more. The night was restless. A dog barked somewhere near the outer tents. Twice. Then silence. You woke once, turned on your side, and fell back asleep. Now, morning light creeps into the sky. A faded blue. No clouds. No wind. The air is still. You sit up slowly, your neck stiff, your mouth dry. You reach for the jar. It is nearly empty. You sip the last of it. You stretch your legs. You breathe. The camp is quiet. Most still sleep. A few figures move like shadows between mats. A pot is being filled. The smell of grain and ash drifts past. You rise. You fold your mat. You eat quickly. No list is read today. Instead, the foreman walks between groups, giving tasks aloud. Your name is called. You are sent to the northern edge. Boundary work, marking paths, clearing stone. You walk alone. The path curves behind the main slope of the pyramid. You pass scaffolds, crates of rope, stacks of broken wedges. The workers here are quieter, focused, their faces lean, their hands quick. The edge you reach is marked with wooden stakes. Faded cloth strips flutter slightly. You are handed a pick. You are told to remove loose rock. Clear a safe path. You nod. The rock is dry, brittle in places, sharp in others. You strike with care. The dust rises. You squint. You strike again. You move slowly, deliberately. Each stone placed in a pile. A boy joins you, barely old enough for tools. He carries a basket. He loads it with stones. He walks them away. He returns. He does not speak. You don't ask his name. You settle into rhythm. Strike. Lift. Place. Breathe. The sun rises higher. The rock grows hotter. The dust clings to your skin. You wipe your forehead. It smears. You keep going. The boy brings water in a cracked bowl. You drink half. You give him the rest. He drinks quickly, then disappears again near midday. Your hand slips. A sharp edge scrapes your palm. Not deep, but enough to sting. You press it to your tunic. You wrap it in cloth. You keep working. A new voice calls to you, a different foreman. He points to a small cart nearby, supplies to be moved uphill. You nod. You walk over. The cart has wheels, but the ground is uneven. The load shifts. You adjust the rope. You lean into the handle. You push. It moves slowly. You pass other workers. Some nod. One laughs softly. You push harder. The rope cuts into your hand. The cloth slips. You feel the sting again. You do not stop. At the top, a man takes the cart. He checks the items. He waves you off. You walk back down. Slower now. The rest of the afternoon is spent organizing stones. Large ones marked for steps. Smaller ones discarded. You sort them. You move them. You wipe your hands often. You sit once, just for a moment. A cloud passes over the sun. Rare. Brief. The light softens. You close your eyes. You breathe through your mouth. You open them again. Work continues. Evening nears. The boy returns, this time with a piece of fruit. He offers it to you. A fig, dried, slightly torn. You take it. You nod. You eat it slowly. You walk back to camp as the sun lowers behind the hills. Your hands sore, your palm throbbing. You do not look at it. At camp, food is simpler tonight. A flatbread, a bowl of mash, water with a faint taste of smoke. You eat it all. You wipe your mouth. You exhale. A man sings softly. A woman braids her hair by firelight. A child chases a beetle. Small things. Brief moments. You lie down. You feel the scratch on your hand. You press your fingers to it. You close your eyes. You picture the edge of the pyramid, the cart, the stones. You picture the boy's face, dusty, quiet, determined. You fall asleep before the fire dims. You wake to a strange stillness, the kind that comes just before a storm, though there is no sign of one. The air feels heavy, the ground warm. You open your eyes slowly. The camp around you is silent. No voices, no clang of tools, only the wind, slow and dry, brushing against cloth and sand. You sit up. Your hand throbs. The scratch from yesterday has darkened. Not deep, but raw. You flex your fingers. You wince. Then you breathe. You stand. No one brings food this morning. Each man takes what he saved. You eat a piece of old bread. Chew it slowly. You sip water from a shared bowl. It tastes of dust again. The list is spoken softly today. The foreman does not raise his voice. He points instead. You watch him. When he points at you, you step forward. Today, you are to assist with sled maintenance. Ropes have frayed. Wood has cracked. Several runners are to be repaired before tomorrow's lifts. You walk toward the tent near the base ramp. The sun just touches the top of the pyramid. Long shadows stretch across the sand. Inside the tent, it is cool. Smells of wood shavings, oil, rope fibers. 3 men work there already. One nods at you. He hands you a coil of rope and a curved blade. You begin cutting damaged strands, rewrapping edges, tightening knots. The work is slow, requires care. Each sled must hold the weight of a full block without slipping. You double-check each knot. You test each strap. You run your hand along every edge. One sled has a crack near the front beam. You press your fingers to it. A carpenter joins you. He hums softly while working. His hands are stained dark with oil. He taps the beam, listens to the sound, then replaces the piece. The day passes in the shade of the tent. The air inside grows thick. You wipe sweat from your neck. You stop only to drink. The water is warm, but enough. At midday, a boy brings a basket of food. Flatbread with salt. A jar of dried peas. You eat slowly. The carpenter tells a story of a worker who built sleds so smooth the blocks slid by themselves. No chant. No struggle. Just movement. He smiles when he says it. You don't ask if the story is true. After the break, you return to rope. One knot refuses to hold. You redo it 3 times, then 4. On the 5th, try. It stays. You pull hard. It holds. You nod to yourself. Later, you are sent to test the sleds on the slope. One by one, each is moved, pushed slightly, watched. You note how each behaves. If it tilts, if it drags, you report back. The carpenter nods. He scribbles marks on a piece of wood. His shorthand is quick. You do not ask what it means. By late afternoon, your hands are rough. Rope burns across your fingers. Oil stains on your palms. You smell of sweat and fiber and dust. But the sleds are ready. You carry the tools back to storage. You wipe the blade. You hang it. You coil the last rope. You tie it carefully. You step outside the tent. The sky is soft. The sun low. The air a little cooler. You walk back toward camp. You pass a man feeding a goat. A child sweeping dust near the fire. A woman kneeling by a cracked pot, trying to seal it with clay. You nod at her. She does not look up. At camp, the meal is plain. Lentils again. A few pieces of pickled radish, water, with a slice of bitter root. You eat in silence. A small group gathers near the edge of the tents. Someone begins a slow song. No instruments, just voice. A line repeated, then again, then joined by another. You listen. You do not join. You lie down. Your hands ache. You stare at the stars through narrow gaps in cloth. You think of the sleds. You think of the rope. You think of tomorrow's lifts. You do not think of anything else. You close your eyes, and sleep comes easily. The sky is still dark when the first voices stir. Low tones, quiet movement. The fire is not yet lit. Someone steps over your legs. Another bumps a clay jug. You open your eyes. You do not rise yet. You listen. Then you sit. Your hands still ache. The rope burns now deeper. The joints of your fingers tight. You open and close them slowly. You rub your palms on your tunic. You stand. The camp smells like dust and sweat and old ash. Familiar. You drink water from a small bowl. The taste is flat. You eat a piece of dry bread. It flakes as you bite. You chew slowly. The list is short today. Many are assigned to lifting teams. block delivery, others to guiding. You are listed as one of the movers. Rope puller. South slope. You gather near the base. The block is large, taller than you, shaped the day before, its edges sharp, its weight silent but present. It sits on the sled. Ready. The team forms, 8 men, 4 to a side, 2 more behind. You recognize only 3. The others are from another group. No one speaks. The rope is thick, coarse. You grip it with both hands. You plant your feet wide. The signal is given. The first pull is hardest. The sled resists. The sand pushes back. Then movement. A slow creak. The chant begins. 1 voice, then 2, then all. A deep rhythm. Feet step in time. Backs lean. Arms stretch. The block moves. The slope rises ahead. Long, straight. The surface packed with sand and water. Workers walk alongside, smoothing dips, shouting warnings, adjusting ropes. The heat climbs quickly. Sweat runs into your eyes. You blink. You keep pulling. At the halfway point, a wedge is placed. The team rests. The chant stops. The rope is dropped. You bend. You breathe through your mouth. Your chest rises and falls fast. A jug is passed. You drink. The water drips down your chin. You do not wipe it. A man beside you coughs. He spits into the sand. You hear someone laugh far away. The signal comes again. The block rises further. The slope steepens near the top. You grip tighter. You lean more. The chant returns louder, urgent. Each step is shorter, harder. You feel the sled drag against the surface. Then, stillness. The top. You stop. The block is secured. You release the rope. You fall to your knees. Your hands tremble. You close your eyes. You stay there for a moment, breathing, silent. Then you rise. You are sent to retrieve wedges from the bottom. No rest. You walk slowly. The ramp seems longer now. Your feet heavy. Your arms swing without purpose. At the base, a crate of wedges waits. You lift it with both hands. You carry it to the edge of the platform. You place it down. You sit beside it. You do not move. A boy brings you food, a mash of grain, a small bit of fish. You thank him. He nods. He walks away. You eat with your fingers. The sun above burns your neck. You wipe your hands on your leg. The afternoon is spent assisting the guide team. You help measure the block's placement. Ropes are used to check angle. Clay marks are added. A level is tested with a bowl of water. The surface does not move. The stone is true. You are dismissed late. You walk back as the sun dips low. The sand glows red. The wind returns. At camp, the fire is quiet. The stew is thin. You eat without tasting. You sit on a stone and watch the others. A girl sings quietly, her voice thin but clear. A bird answers once, then silence again. You lie on your mat. You roll onto your side. You press your fingers together. They throb, but you do not mind. You picture the block at the top of the slope, set in place, perfect, waiting for the next. You close your eyes, and sleep takes you like a wave. Morning comes with a breeze, the kind that lifts the corners of blankets and carries the smell of distant water. You wake slowly. Your eyes open to the pale blue sky above. A bird circles far overhead. You blink. You sit up. Your shoulders feel tight, your hands less sore than before. The skin rough, but healing. You press your palms together. You breathe deeply. You stand. The camp is already stirring. Pots clink. A man yawns. A goat bleats once. You eat a cold mash from a clay bowl. Someone passes by carrying rope. Someone else pours water into a trough. You stretch your arms. You walk toward the list. Your name is called for guiding duty. Today, you help position new stones at the top level. The shape of the pyramid changes with each placement. The edges sharpen. The slope tightens. The platform narrows. You walk toward the ramp. The sun is already above the horizon. Its light bounces off the sand, warm and steady. You squint. You cover your eyes with your hand. At the top, the crew waits. The block has not arrived yet. You check ropes. You sweep dust from the setting area. You wipe your forehead. The block arrives mid-morning. The chant is quiet from below. The sled creaks. You watch its slow rise. When it reaches the top, it stops with a soft thud. Ropes are tied. The team steps back. Now your work begins. You and 2 others measure the distance from the edge. A rope is stretched. Clay dots mark the corners. A wooden frame is placed to guide the block. The stone is lifted with levers. You push from one side. Another man pulls. A third adjusts from behind. The motion is slow, measured. Each shift followed by silence, then correction. The block slips once, only a finger's length. A crack sounds. You stop. You listen. Nothing further. You breathe. You continue. When the block settles into place, a silence falls. All 3 of you stand back. You inspect the line, the surface, the level. Perfect. You nod. The others nod back. The rest of the day follows this rhythm. Measure, shift, place, rest. Then again. You eat a handful of dried beans with water. You sit in the shade of a stacked crate. You lean your back against it. You close your eyes. You hear distant hammering, a cough, a soft footstep. You return to work. By afternoon, a breeze picks up. It whistles past the edges of the blocks. Sand lifts and dances near your feet. You shield your eyes. You keep placing. A boy runs up with a message. A second block has cracked. Work delayed. Your team pauses. You take a breath. You look out at the desert. From the top, the land is flat and endless, the river a thin curve of silver. Small camps dot the horizon. Smoke rises from one. You watch. A voice calls your name. The block is ready. You repeat the process. Slow movements. Careful placement. Your muscles tight. Your eyes focused. You breathe through your nose. Your hands press and pull and hold. Evening comes. The sun falls behind the hills. The sky turns gold, then orange, then soft gray. You wipe your face. Your tunic clings to your back. You walk down the slope, slowly, one step at a time. At camp, a fire burns low. The stew is thick tonight, spiced, a rare gift. You eat in silence. You taste every bite. A man tells a quiet story of a worker who vanished during a storm, left only a chisel behind. Some say he found a better camp. Others say he became wind. You listen. You finish your bowl. You drink from a cool jug. You lie back on your mat, your body heavy, your mind quiet. You think of the block you placed, the angle, the pressure, the final tap. You imagine doing it again, and again, and again, until the stone reaches the sky. You close your eyes. Sleep returns. The morning light is softer today, filtered by a thin veil of clouds. The air feels cooler, the wind slow and steady. You wake without sound. No voice calls you. No tool clangs nearby. Just the gentle rustle of cloth and sand. You sit up. Your joints crack softly. You stretch your arms. Your shoulders ache. Not sharply, just deeply, like something that has lived there a long time. You stand. You shake dust from your mat. You fold it. You drink water from the shared bowl. It tastes of stone and clay. You eat a small piece of flatbread, a few olives. You chew slowly. You let the salt sit on your tongue. You swallow. Today, you are not on the list. Instead, you are called aside. The foreman speaks quietly. A task for precision, he says. The sculptor's tent. A statue base to be carved. Edges to be measured. Lines to be traced. No lifting today. No ropes. No blocks. You nod. You walk toward the shaded tent on the far side of camp. Inside, it is quiet, cooler. The air smells of powder and oil. Tools lie on folded cloth. Chisels arranged by size. Stones wait near the back. Some half-formed, some only blocks. You are handed a sharp blade, a flat chisel, a smooth piece of stone. Your task is clear. Shape the bottom. Smooth the edge. Carve a groove for fitting. You sit on a folded mat. You hold the stone with both hands. You tap gently, then scrape, then tap again. The noise is soft, rhythmic, controlled. The tent flaps move with the breeze. Light shifts on the floor. The air is still cool. A man works beside you. Older, his hands are slower, but sure. He hums quietly. You recognize the tune. Heard it once near the fire. You do not speak. You both work. Mid-morning, a boy brings water. You sip. The jug sweats in your hands. You pass it back. He bows and leaves. You carve a line. You brush the dust. You carve another. You run your finger along the edge. Smooth. Flat. Sharp. The foreman checks your work once. He says nothing. He nods. He moves on. You keep carving. By midday, your legs are stiff. You stand. You stretch. You step outside. The sky is brighter now. The clouds thinner. The sun visible again. You squint. You eat lentils with a bit of garlic. You chew slowly. You drink water with clay dust at the bottom. Back inside, the work continues. You switch tools. A thinner chisel. A different grip. The groove must be perfect. Not deep. Not shallow. Not crooked. You test the edge with a flat stick. It rests even. You adjust one side. A grain off. You fix it. Later, you help move a finished base. 4 men lift. 1 guides. The piece is carried to a storage crate, wrapped in cloth, placed with care. You return to your spot. A new block is brought. This one heavier, rougher. It will take more time. You mark the surface with red dye. You trace the shape. You plan each cut before touching tool to stone. The hours pass. Outside, someone calls instructions. A goat bleats again. A child cries once. Then nothing. Inside the tent, the tools speak. Tap, scrape, breathe, repeat. Evening nears. The light fades. The tent grows darker. A torch is lit in the corner. It flickers gently. The shadows stretch. You place your tools back on the cloth. You wipe your hands on your tunic. You roll your shoulders. You step outside. The air is warmer now. The fire glows in camp. The scent of cooking drifts your way. You walk slowly. Tonight's food is rice and greens, a bit of dried meat. You eat every bite. You drink deeply. The water is cold. Someone tells a joke. Soft laughter. You smile once. Briefly. You lie on your mat. The night sky is clear. Stars sharp and endless. You picture the stone in your hands. The groove. The edge. The perfect fit. You close your eyes. You do not dream. Only stillness. The night passed without noise. No footsteps. No distant voices. Not even the wind. Just stillness. Like the sky itself had pressed gently on the earth. You open your eyes before the sun rises. The sky is gray, soft, cool. You sit up. You stretch your legs, your back tight, your fingers slightly curled. You rub them slowly, the skin still rough. You breathe. A small pot of water has been left near your mat, still warm. You sip from it. The taste is clean. You wash your face with your hands. You dry them on your tunic. The camp is waking. You hear the quiet murmur of voices. A boy feeds kindling into the fire. A woman sweeps sand from a path. Someone laughs once, then stops. You eat a handful of nuts, a dried fig. You chew slowly. You feel the seeds crack between your teeth. You swallow. Your name is called again. Today, transport. Not stone, not rope. Tools, wooden beams, iron spikes, clay markers, measured loads. You walk to the supply area. A man gives you a wrapped bundle. Heavy, balanced. You carry it over your shoulder. You follow a path around the pyramid, toward the northeast ramp. A new section is being prepared, not for lifting, for building. Scaffolds must be placed, rails aligned. The path cleared. You set down the bundle. You untie the cords. Inside are smooth beams, shaped by hand. You carry one at a time to the edge. You wait. A carpenter joins you. He marks spots with a stick. You hold the beam steady. He taps with a mallet. Soft, quick strikes. You feel the vibration through your fingers. A metal spike is passed to you. You hold it in place. He hammers again. The sound rings clear, echoes once, then silence. You move to the next. The day moves slowly. You lift. You carry. You wait. You hold. You watch. The air grows warmer. then hot, then still. A water jug is passed. You drink deeply. A drop runs down your neck. You let it stay. You sit in the shade of a half-built platform. You close your eyes. Your hands rest on your knees. You hear footsteps nearby. You hear distant birds. You hear nothing else. Then back to work. Each beam placed creates structure. Each spike driven adds weight. Each hand movement part of something larger. The carpenter speaks little, only points. Occasionally hums. At midday, a boy brings food. Bread with herbs. A small piece of cheese. You thank him. He does not answer. He walks away. You chew slowly. The wind returns in the afternoon. It brings dust. It covers your arms, your face. You blink. You keep working. A spike bends during a strike. The carpenter frowns. He pulls it out. He tosses it aside. You hand him another. He nods once. Later, the path is swept. The marker's checked. A red line is drawn on the stone. You do not know what it means, but someone will. You carry empty crates back to storage. Your shoulders sore. Your fingers tingling. You walk slowly. The sun lowers. Camp waits. The fire glows brighter tonight. More wood. A special day. A new phase reached. A priest speaks briefly. A chant is sung. Low, repetitive, calming. You eat a thick stew with barley and beans. A bowl of fruit is passed. You take one fig. You chew it whole. Someone tells a memory of the first day of construction, when the ground was bare, when nothing stood, when every shadow was just sand. You listen. You watch the flames. You lie on your mat. You stretch your arms. You look at the stars. They do not move. You do not move. You breathe once, then again, then sleep. You wake before the light changes. The sky is still dark. Only the faintest glow near the horizon. You sit up slowly. Your muscles pull against the stillness. You listen. The camp is quiet. Only one or two voices. A soft shuffle of feet. You stand. You drink from a small jug. The water cold this morning. You pour a little on your face. You blink. You stretch your back. You roll your neck. You breathe deeply. The fire is low. A few embers still alive. A man feeds it with dry twigs. Another stirs a pot of mash. The smell rises slowly. Familiar. You eat alone. A thin piece of bread. A small piece of onion. You chew without thought. Your mind blank. Your hands resting. Your name is called with a group. Today, inventory. Not lifting. Not carving. Counting. You follow a young scribe. He carries a long stick and a folded list. You carry a small jar of ink and a cloth. Another man walks beside you with chalk. You start at the storage tent. Inside, the shadows are thick. You open the flaps. Light spills in. Dust dances in the beam. The scribe begins. He points to each bundle, each crate. He calls a number. You check the markings. You nod. He notes it down. The other man draws a mark on the crates. A line. A circle. A shape only they use. You move slowly, section by section. Stone tools, rope coils, carved pegs, worn wheels, each with a place, each with a number. You open a box of chisels, some cracked, some sharp. You count each one. You say the number aloud. The scribe repeats it. He writes. The chalk man draws a mark. You move on. The day warms fast. The tent traps heat. You wipe sweat from your neck. You drink from the jar. The ink stains your fingers. You step outside once to breathe. The sun high now. A group of workers carries a large crate past, their feet kicking up dust. A boy laughs as he runs beside them. You return inside. A crate of shaped stones waits. For decoration, carved flowers, lines, faces. You count them. You hold one in your hand. You feel the edge, the detail. You place it back. The scribe is quiet, focused, his fingers stained like yours. The chalk man hums to himself, a rhythm he does not explain. By midday, you finish the tent. You sit for a short rest. The three of you eat together. Dried peas, a piece of cheese, soft mash with herbs. You share a water jug. You say little. After the break, you move to the shade store. Wooden beams, cartwheels, frames. You count them all. The scribe writes. The chalk man marks. A wheel is cracked. You note it. The scribe scratches a different symbol. You move on. Later, you check the cloth tent. Canopies, rope netting, tunics for new workers, sandals, belts, bags. You lift each item. You count. You fold. The sun begins to fall. You finish near evening. The scribe closes his list. The chalk man wipes his hands. You clean the ink jar. You stretch your arms. You walk back slowly. Camp is alive with soft movement. A small group sings. Another plays a rhythm on clay pots. The fire glows orange. You eat with your hands. Rice and lentils. Bread with oil. A few leaves of bitter greens. You drink deeply. You lie on your mat. You stare at the sky. A single star twinkles brighter than the rest. You think of the crates, the stones, the wheel with the crack, the cloth folded into squares. You breathe once, then twice, then the sky fades. The wind is louder this morning. It moves through the camp like a breath. It lifts the edge of your mat. It pulls lightly at your tunic. You wake with it. Your eyes open slowly. You watch the cloth above your head sway gently. Then you sit up. The sky is pale and clear. No clouds. No birds. Just soft light. The sun has not yet reached over the horizon. You stand. You drink from a jug. The water is cool. You rinse your hands. You run wet fingers over your face. You breathe in deeply. The fire is already burning. Bread is warm today. A man passes pieces on a flat tray. You take one. You break it in half. You eat slowly. A fig is offered. You chew it whole. Your name is not on the morning list. Instead, a runner brings you a message. You are to assist a measuring crew. Boundary check. South wall. You nod. You gather your things. You walk past the main ramp. Past the lines of scaffolds. Past crates of stone and empty sleds. The wind moves steadily against your back. The measuring team waits near a marked post. A stick with red dye. A stretched cord tied to it. The lead surveyor greets you with a nod. He hands you the far end of the cord. You hold it firm. He pulls it tight. He checks the angle. He adjusts. Then he walks. You walk with him. Each step is careful, measured. The cord must stay level, must stay straight. When the land dips, he marks it. When it rises, he notes it. When it turns, he draws a line in the dust. You reach the outer stone path, a series of blocks laid months ago. They are dusty now, weathered slightly. You trace your finger along one edge. It is smooth. You pause for rest. You drink from a shared jug. The wind moves the grass nearby. Small, dry tufts. A lizard scurries between stones. Then you continue. Another man joins to check alignment. He carries a wooden triangle. He places it against the cord. He adjusts. He nods. You walk again. At one point, the cord catches on a branch. A small thorn tree. You stop. You untangle it. The wind pulls at the leaves. They rattle softly. Midday passes unnoticed. You eat in silence. Bread with a smear of crushed bean, a dried root, water in a clay cup. You sit on a smooth rock, your back to the wall. The surveyor says the lines are holding. No need for major correction, only a few adjustments. You nod. You finish your meal. In the afternoon, you help place markers, small piles of stone, each one where the cord ended, a wooden peg in the center, red dye on top. They catch the sun as it begins to fall. Later, you walk the line once more. You check the tension. You press your foot into the dirt. You push a stake deeper. You straighten a crooked peg. The sun lowers behind the outer hills. The light softens. The wind dies down. The cords flutter less. Work ends quietly. You return with the others. The tools packed neatly. The pegs bundled together. The dye jar sealed with cloth. The cord coiled into a loop. You say little on the walk. The camp appears slowly. The fire is lit again. The smell of rice fills the air. Someone stirs a pot. Someone hums a low tune. You sit near the edge. You eat your meal slowly. You drink deeply. Your hands are dry. Your face warm. A child dances near the fire. A woman claps softly. A man taps a stone rhythmically. The beat is slow, steady, calming. You lie down on your mat. You look at your hands. You close your fingers. You feel the wind return for a moment. Then stillness. Then stars. Then sleep. The sun rises gently on the last day of your task. The light spreads without force. It touches the sand, the stone, the cloth of tents. It brushes your face as you wake. You open your eyes slowly. You lie still for a moment. Then you sit up. The air is cool. The wind is quiet. A distant bird calls once. Then silence. You stand. You drink water from a shared bowl. You wash your hands. You press your palms together. You breathe in deeply. A man nods to you as he passes. You eat a small piece of bread, a few nuts. You chew slowly. The taste is plain, comforting. Your name is not on any list today. Instead, a quiet instruction. Report to the top platform. Observation. You walk slowly. The ramp is long. the path worn smooth. You pass workers carrying rope, a group hauling water, a boy running with a rolled message. You step aside once for a cart. You reach the top. The wind is stronger here. It moves around the corners of the highest stones. It hums low. You pull your tunic close. You step forward. The overseer greets you. He does not speak. He points toward the platform's edge. You look out. The land stretches wide and flat. The river curves in the distance. The small camps scatter along the bank. The sun reflects off the water. Bright, clear. You turn slowly. You see the lines of stone, row after row, aligned, balanced, rising with purpose. The shape nearly whole now. The top awaits only the final stones, then smooth layers, then polish. You walk along the edge. You watch a team place a stone. The chant is soft. The rope creaks. The block moves, slides, settles. Dust rises, then stillness. Another team checks angles. Another prepares the next lift. No shouting, no rush, only rhythm, only care. You help mark a line. You hold a rope steady. You pass a small tool to a surveyor. Each action simple, each moment measured. The sun moves across the sky. You sit near a crate. You eat grain mash, a piece of pickled radish. You drink from a wooden cup. Someone speaks of the early days, when only dust filled the space, when the first stone was placed, when they doubted it could rise. You listen. You look at your hands. You think of the rope, the weight, the dust, the sound of stone against stone. You rise. In the afternoon, a priest visits. He carries incense. He speaks softly. He places a clay token at the highest point. He bows. He leaves. The workers pause. They watch. Then they return to motion. Evening comes. The air cools. The shadows lengthen. You walk back down the ramp. Step by step. You do not rush. At the base, someone offers you a jug of water. You drink. You nod in thanks. You walk past crates, past fires, past children playing with carved pebbles. You reach your mat. You sit. You stretch your legs. You watch the sky darken. The stars arrive slowly, one by one. You lie back. You close your eyes. You do not count the days behind you. You do not count the stones. You do not think of the aches. Only the silence. Only the shape. Only the stone rising. Block by block, step by step. All placed by hands like yours. You breathe once. Then again. Then sleep.